Welcome to Gale at Night. It's story time. Well, kinda. We're shining a light on something most people don't think about: the rise of self proclaimed private investigators online. These people who say they're investigators, who build entire online personas around it, but they don't have the licenses, certifications, or legal authority to do the work they claim. We're going to talk about how they gain clout on social media, how they access private information they shouldn't have, and the real world dangers that come when someone with a history of harassment and manipulation uses that false authority to target others. So we'll use one example: a female by the name of Renee, who calls herself a private investigator but has no license or certification, and whose online behavior is a case study in why this problem matters. Let's start with the basics. A legitimate private investigator, also called a PI, is licensed by the state. They undergo background checks. They're required to follow state laws. Many states demand ongoing education, professional insurance, and compliance with ethics codes. They can lose their license if they cross legal or ethical lines. In other words, there is oversight. Now, contrast that with an unhinged, unlicensed individual, someone who slaps private investigator in their social media bio. They don't go through training. They don't answer to licensing board. And there's no accountability when they harass or abuse someone. It's the difference between a doctor and someone who just buys a stethoscope on Amazon and calls themselves one. Online, people like Renee build credibility by appearing knowledgeable. They'll say they're working with law enforcement or that they've cracked cases using inside knowledge. They may even sprinkle in just enough truth to sound legitimate. Here's a trick: they embellish stories. They take a real event, add false details, and repackage it as exclusive investigative reporting. And it doesn't stop there. They also celebrate and take credit for other people's work. They invent milestones, anniversaries, victories, anything that can be turned into a public celebration, because they know no one is going to fact check them. People online just see the announcement, hit like, and say congratulations. And that's all these fake investigators really want: attention and accolades. It's a smokescreen. While people are busy congratulating them, they are distracted from the reality that this person might actually be committing crimes. The danger is audiences can't always separate fact from fiction. And in the process, innocent people get doxxed, smeared, or harassed, all because someone online wanted to look important. Now you may be wondering, How do unlicensed investigators get private information in the first place? Some rely on gossip or public databases, but others cross serious lines. They impersonate police or child protective services. They spoof phone numbers to trick people into picking up the call. Or they convince someone with legitimate access, maybe a friend in law enforcement or an employer with sensitive tools, to share data they have no business accessing. That's not investigation. That's a crime, period. When you impersonate law enforcement to get someone's private information, that's fraud. When you use someone else's credentials to dig into databases, that's identity theft. When you mislead people to get personal data, that's stalking. And yet, because these individuals call themselves investigators, many of their followers cheer them on, not realizing they're enabling criminal behavior. Let's talk about Renee specifically. Her history online shows exactly why licensing requirements exist. Instead of legitimate investigative work, she has harassed and stalked people online, abused the legal system with false claims, bragged about dangerous stunts like swatting, and yes, celebrated fake milestones to distract from her misconduct. It's a pattern. Create chaos, then throw a party online to make people forget what just happened. She knows most people won't dig deeper and that they'll happily clap along if they think she's achieving something. People like her are not investigators. They're cyber stalkers with an audience. They weaponize people's private lives with clicks, turning real people into content. And once they get a taste of influence, they escalate. We've seen it before. False reports to the FBI and the police, fake tips to CPS, false emergency calls that put people's lives at risk. When someone with a criminal background and a need for clout has even a sliver of private information, they can cause chaos and sometimes irreversible harm. So, what happens when these unlicensed private investigators get caught? The law is clear. They can face felony charges, impersonating law enforcement, wire fraud, misuse of government databases, stalking, identity theft. But here's the thing. By the time consequences catch up to them, the victims have already suffered. They've lost jobs, homes, reputations, maybe their children. Their safety has been compromised. Some victims are left traumatized. That's why we have to be careful about who we give credibility to online. Just because someone sounds convincing doesn't mean they're legitimate. Ask the questions. Are they licensed in their state? Can they prove their credentials? Or are they just mixing half-truths with lies, throwing parties for themselves and distracting you with fake milestones? If it's the last one, what you're really watching isn't investigation. It's cyber stalking dressed up as detective work. The bottom line is a licensed PI is accountable. An unlicensed one is just a stalker with Wi-Fi. Oh, and a VPN. Don't let the illusion of authority trick you. Don't let fake celebrations blind you. And don't give your trust or your personal information to someone who could be committing crimes behind the scenes. Stay smart, stay safe, and remember that credibility isn't a title you can give yourself. Have you ever fallen victim to a fake private investigator? Chances are you have. Have you used your employer tools to get private information to give to Renee or others like her? You feel like you're in too deep now, and know that if you back out, she will turn on you. Drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is Gail at Night. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for supporting. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and set the bell to all.